One.
So we're live right now.
We are live right now. Welcome, everyone. Welcome all the replay viewers. You always have to say that first because those are the only people who see the very beginning. We're just sharing this out to a couple places, and we'll get started in just a minute.
This is kind of cool. This is my first time on this platform.
Yeah. In fact, there's no like backstage thing. This is just, I mean, there's only a backstage thing. There's no like other platform where you can watch it.
Right.
And then go to Facebook. This is only for Facebook Live.
Very cool. Oh, I see us. We actually are live.
We actually are live. Yes. It works.
Nice.
And I actually have to go over to Livestream Universe because it's not on my personal profile yet.
Go, Ross.
All
go
right.
over there.
Let me tag you.
Okay.
Anybody else you want me to tag?
You could tag me and JennyQ, which is really the same thing. Right?
Yes.
Yes. So here we are. Here, I'll share it too. What a novel concept.
Are you hearing it twice like I am?
No, because I muted my Facebook tab.
Oh, mute the browser. That's a good idea. That's an excellent idea. Now, everybody's getting a little more of the behind the scenes than probably ever wanted to share.
That's okay. This is what we do. This is the exciting, glamorous life of live streaming. We talk about, wait, where should we share it? Wait, should we share it now?
I want to tag you, not just JennyQ, and it's coming up like every Jennifer Quinn other than you. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Wait, there's more than me?
I think so.
What? Okay, so.
So are you doing a show on Wednesday?
Are we starting? Is this the official interview?
No, this is just, we're live, so we're making small talk right now and giving you an opportunity to promote your show on Wednesday if you'd like to do that.
Actually, I'm starting season 3 of the JennyQ Show on January 25th.
Oh, okay. Nice January break.
Right.
Nicely done.
Season 2 was on. Season 2. Oh, here I'm on now. Okay, so here I put it on my my phone so I can read the comments too while we go.
Oh, cool.
So here's the deal, Ross.
Yes.
December was crazy for me, as you know, right? With all the traveling and with everything going on, and then I got super sick, and I'm just like, and we did 24 episodes of season 2. And so I was like, yeah, I think we'll start season 3 towards the end of January. So that's what we're doing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So we have Tracy here and Juan and John Paul, and we're going to, what? Oh, the comments come up on here. That's very cool. Okay.
Yeah, you can do it right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you actually don't need a second screen for this.
This is cool.
Yeah, this is cool. This is the first time I'm actually using this like officially for a show. So
for an interview, yeah. Because I've seen you on it for like a Q&A, which was very awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just share this to my personal. We are.
Okay, share it. Share away. In fact, hi, Jen. How are you? Those of you who are watching, could you also share this out? That'd be cool. Give Ross a little bit more, viewers.
You got all the hosting skills there.
I know. We're going to be competing this whole time. We're going to be competing. Hi, Sabrina. We're going to be competing. Wait, whose show is this? Okay, I'll be a good guest. I promise.
Okay. So, see, you can put these little names there. I don't know. You can't really see it on your end, but I can add like little lower third things with the names, and I can highlight quotes and things like that.
That's very cool.
Hey, Juan Santiago's here. I can see John Paul is here.
Yes, hello.
Our friend Jen Nelson is here. Sabrina is here. So pretty cool. Looking forward to meeting Sabrina at Summit Live.
My friend Nicole Risby just joined. Hi, Nikki Riss. Nicole Risby is, can I tell you, we met on Twitter like 8 years ago. And then I met her in person in New York during last year, or 2 years ago already, right? At Summit Live.
Nice.
Yeah. Was it 2 years ago? It was 2015. Yeah, a year and a half ago. Anyway.
The one in you said the one in New York, or yeah. So this year's actually in LA. So I'm looking forward to going out there. And if you would like, might as well do this now. If you would like 20% off of your ticket to Summit Live, go to livestreamuniverse.com/Summit2017, livestreamuniverse.com/Summit2017, and enter the promo code ROSSBRAND, ROSSBRAND, livestreamuniverse.com/Summit2017. Enter my full name in the promo code, and you can get 20% off tickets for Summit Live. A lot of great speakers. Looking forward to being there. Al Roker's going to be speaking. And
you are going to be speaking.
What's that?
And you are going to be speaking.
Yeah, I am actually. But I thought maybe Al Roker and Dana McKellar, Winnie from the Wonder Years would be probably be the bigger attractions. Joel Comm is going to be speaking. Mitch Jackson, Kathy Hackle, Ryan Bell. Who else? Robert Scoble. So anyway, some great speakers. Hope to meet a lot of people in person that I haven't met before, only online. So that'd be pretty cool. It sounds like you made a lot of good friends from your experience there.
Absolutely. Yeah, without question.
All right, so let's start the show officially. Welcome, everyone, to Livestream Stars. I'm Ross Brand. Joining me today is Jennifer Quinn. She's the host of the JennyQ Show, also works with Enlightened Audio Visual as their program manager, and she's also been involved in doing personal development, health and wellness, and fitness, and just very, very busy with a lot of different things. She's one of the most talented hosts to come along in this live stream era. Was the 2015 Queen of Blab, and she's hosts the very first variety show on Facebook. Welcome back. And you were the very first guest we ever had on Livestream Stars in the fall of 2015. You took a chance. You had no idea what I do or don't do, if it was going to be crazy, if it was going to be boring, sane, insane, whatever. And you took a chance. You came on. And it's so great to have you back and find out everything you've been up to in the past year or so.
Yeah, no, it is great to be back, Ross. And from the moment you contacted me that first time, like, you're one of the nicest people I've ever not met, because we haven't met in person. But my gosh, I feel like I know you, just through all of the live streams and all of the back and forth communications and emails and stuff. And so thank you for having me back. I'm excited to be your first guest in 2017.
Well, thanks for coming on. So let's start off with the variety show.
Okay.
What made you decide to pick Facebook Live, and what made you decide to change your format from doing 45-minute interviews with one person to having 3, 4, 5 guests in a very sort of fast-moving, varied, which is variety, right? Varied show. What made you come up with this? It's kind of unique in the live streaming community, your show.
Well, the way that it happened, so Blab is a platform that no longer exists, but that's where you and I met. And Blab just kind of really lended itself to doing one-on-one interviews. It was just kind of perfect for that. I mean, you could have 4 people on the screen, but for me, it just made sense to do that. Well, Blab, I could, as many of us could tell, show hosts and broadcasters, we could tell that the writing was on the wall a little bit, and we probably needed to come up with other ideas. And I had this vision of a variety show, but there was no way I could do it on Blab. So it just so happened that I was watching a show on Facebook Live, a fellow from New Zealand. Ooh, shoot, Ricky Prime, New Zealand?
Yeah, New Zealand, Ricky Prime. That
guy from New Zealand. Yeah. So I saw Ricky Prime doing, and I had just met him at Periscope Summit, or I'm sorry, Summit Live in San Francisco, and he was doing a show that was, and he was bringing people in just the way that I had envisioned. So I quickly did some, recon and found out who was doing it. Turns out it was Rob Hicks of Enlightened Audio Visual. So I reached out to him and I was like, I got to talk to you. So we spoke on the phone, and he talked about how, I told him my vision. He said, yes, I can do that. I said, great, let's do it. So we started working together, and that's why I felt like for Facebook, probably would be, the audience would be more I don't know how to talk.
You're doing fine.
More what?
You're doing fine.
Okay. I thought that they'd be more open to a number of guests versus one for 45 minutes, because in the 45-minute interview, I'd really dig deep because the theme was I interviewed people who demonstrated excellence in their field, and very, very specific. If you wanted to learn about that person and how they achieved excellence. So it was just kind of a thing that I thought would be fun, really, is the bottom line.
And has it been fun?
It has been way fun. It has been so much fun. And it has especially been fun with Rob because he is open and willing to push the envelope. Like we push the boundaries. If he has an idea or I have an idea, I'm like, let's try it. I mean, it's just a show,
right?
Yeah, let's just see how it goes. So that's what we do.
Well, I mean, here's what I think is really kind of shows like how insightful you are as far as the live streaming thing goes, right? Because on Blab, you had people who would come on and stay with a show for 2 or 3 hours if you wanted to go that long, right? And you had an endless supply of people coming in, and they were going to come in as soon as they saw your name up there. So it really gave you the opportunity to do long form interviews because people were watching. They might come and watch the whole 45 minutes or a good chunk of it, right? But on Facebook Live, you're competing with so many different things. People are constantly getting notifications and messages, and there's ads, and there's a feed, and they start watching with the volume off and all that stuff. So the ability to have multiple guests and keep changing up and having different kind of momentum, right, and movement and things to promote coming up later, all helps you kind of keep people involved and interested and engaged. And you're so awesome at like getting the chat going and recognizing everybody and making everybody feel like they're part of not only the show, but the community. What were you thinking when you went to Facebook Live? Were you like, yes, this is the right thing to do, the variety show? Or were you kind of like, maybe I should do what I was doing before?
I'm gonna pick option C, which is neither. I mean, none of the above. And the reason I was scared to death. I was so nervous. I thought, honestly, goodness, what I thought. I thought people are going to laugh at me. What the heck is a variety show on live streaming? I thought I was nervous because my real life friends and family are on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And people have easier access to it that actually know me. And I was really scared. In fact, I had... with Rob will tell you this too. I said, great. First I'm on the phone. This is awesome. I can start next week. Can you? He's like, yeah, I can too. And then I'm like, I need to push it out a week. Wait, I need to push it out another week. Wait, I need to push it out. I think I did 3 or 4 delays because I was so nervous. And so I would say at least the first 8 shows, I was literally shaking. Like It got better and better as I went, but because there were so many moving parts and I wasn't in control of any of it. All I could do was be there and be ready for whatever happened. So, because on Blab, we kind of did the whole thing, right? And well, right now you're doing the whole thing too, but having a producer managing all of that, that's a lot of trust. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't been a huge person for collaboration prior to a year ago. I was just kind of, I'm going to get out there and make it happen. Now I'm all about collaboration. I love it. I've had the most amazing experiences. Yeah.
That's exciting. Hearing a little bit of an echo.
Uh-oh. Is it mine?
I'm not sure.
I
don't hear an echo. I wonder if anybody else is.
Throw one in hearing an echo.
Yeah, I just want to say a quick hi to everybody. I'm reading the comments, loving them. Hello, it's so great to see you all here. I'm looking at my phone, and then they also pop up on the
Well, anyway, let's go. Let's just roll on with it.
All right.
Anyway, Jason Liebman says he is hearing an echo. We got a lot of great people here. Mitch Jackson is here. Gail Turner Brown, Nicole Risby, Alfredo Tigolo, Gail Turner Brown. We mentioned. Who else is here? Sabrina's here. Jen Nelson. Great to see so many people. Juan Santiago, John Paul. Definitely throw something in the chat or share it out so we know you're here, and we'd love to hear from you. So it sounds like people are still hearing an echo. So I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to talk for a little bit, and I will try and diagnose this.
Okay.
Oh, so echo cleared. Thank you. Yes, one of the members of the Be Live TV team is actually here, and it's his birthday. So
Happy birthday!
I hope I don't mispronounce your name, but Safrir, happy birthday, and thank you so much for coming to the rescue and solving that. Awesome that you're working on your birthday. Barb is here, says you are top notch.
Oh, thank you.
Nicole Risby confirms that we are good now. So
Perfect.
You made the journey to Facebook Live. You got into collaboration. You're working with Rob Hicks as your producer.
Yes.
And then you ended up taking on an even bigger role with Enlightened AV. Talk about what you're doing now with Enlightened AV.
Right. Okay. So what happened was Rob started producing the shows with his company, and people wanted to have their shows produced. And it was kind of a natural fit because I know this side of the, live streaming, that I could, if she could snap her fingers and make it happen. What? Oh.
If you wanted to go ahead with it, since you started to answer the question, I was going to wait till you're done.
I was like, okay. If I could snap my fingers, I'd have Meryl Streep on my show. Oh my gosh. That's what came to me last night. I've been asked that question before, and I'm like, I don't really know, because I love all of my guests. But Meryl Streep, when I saw her on the Golden Globes last night, I'm like, I love this woman so much. I would love to have her on my show. Anyway, back to Rob. So it was a natural fit to just work with him as his business was building. So I'm the program manager. I do onboarding with new clients, and I kind of teach them how to host their own show. Our ideal client with Enlightened Audiovisual, we work with brands. And so talk about collaboration. What we're also doing is we've collaborated with Aftermark, which is the company owned by Vincenzo Landino and Amy Schmidtauer. And so now we're collaborating with them. They're the creative team, and we're the production team. So, I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, that's awesome. So they're the ones who kind of bring in the brands and give them advice on how to do their show and stuff like that. And then you guys come in and let them know what technology to use and, produce the show and make it look pretty.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of, they get to just show up and have a show. Because think of what's happened in the past year and a half with live streaming and in marketing. So the brands have been busy marketing, and they haven't been, it would be impossible for a marketing director running a brand to keep up with live streaming. So now they get to just step in, right, and have Amy and Vincenzo maybe create the whole strategy. And, part of it's going to be live streaming. And, oh, by the way, here's your turnkey production team. So, yeah. Boom.
That's great. So, what else are you doing as far as live streaming goes? Are you doing periscopes? Are you doing sort of solo broadcasts, cell phone broadcasts, or social video stuff with Snapchat? What else do you enjoy doing as far as live streaming goes?
Yeah, I do Snapchat stories, not as much as I used to. And you know what? To be honest, I kind of took a break from all the rest, but I'm going to get back into Periscope. And Instagram live stories, because they're just amazing. And I had some fun a couple weeks ago. I was in Southern California and met up with our friend Vicky Fitch. And we did a live Periscope broadcast. And I'm like, dang, I missed this. I forgot how much fun it was.
Right.
And she was like, JennyQ, don't touch the screen. You're going to push the wrong button. It's changed since you've been on. I was like, what? So, yeah. But, live streaming is just fun.
Yeah, and when I started, everything I did was from the desktop, structured, show, promoted, content, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And last week, I wanted to test out this Be Live TV app that we're using, and they have both a Q&A and an interview mode. So I thought I'd test out the Q&A mode, something I rarely, if ever, had done before. And it was a blast. I ended up staying on like an hour and 15 minutes just
Wow.
chatting with people, stuff like that. So I'm planning to not only use that Q&A mode occasionally and do broadcasts like that are just kind of, hey, let's just chat, let's just connect, right? But I love that Instagram stories, the live video disappears. So now you don't even have to worry about repurposing. You don't have to worry if there's dead air. You can talk to and connect with your friends and your community and everything, and talk about whatever people want to talk about, and not worry about whether it's a structured show or how you're going to repurpose it, or even if it's going to live on in some way that's going to, going to be uncomfortable for what people are talking about. So, I mean, I think that brings a depth of connection that recording videos and putting them on YouTube and stuff like that, repurposing them, doesn't give. So I'm very excited, and I'm probably going to start playing around with Periscope too and doing some things there, which do record and stuff. So that's kind of, it's just a lot of fun to just live stream impromptu, just do some spontaneous things, as well as, of course, doing the structured shows. And that's one of the reasons, obviously, you're here, is that you do great shows, and that stands out. Did you have any background in broadcasting or anything? Because you seem like somebody who's been hosting shows forever.
Actually, no, not even a little bit. So what happened was I did Periscope, and then Joanne Pham, founder of the Perry Girls, she one day it's so funny that the comments pop up and I get distracted. I'm all like, what? Okay, it's like I'm brand new at Livestreaming or something. And so
sorry, I'll try not to pop them up until you're done with the thought.
That's okay. Okay, so what happened was she said, hey, join me over on Blab. And so I did, and literally instantly I had this intuitive hit, and it was do an interview show. Interview people, like it came just like this download. Do an interview show. Interview people who've demonstrated excellence in their field. And it was like I started less than a week later. I started a daily show. Before I started my first show, I had another intuitive hit, and that was, oh, and by the way, you're going to have personal growth. Do that too. And I was like, okay, because I forgot how much personal growth hurts.
Yes, it does.
It's not easy. But you know what?
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, it's worth every bit of it. Every bit of the pain to go through something to the next level. It's worth every single step.
And what's interesting is you've been doing your sort of you've been very devoted to personal growth and training. You've had Glenn Dawson on, a trainer who you've been working closely with, and you've gone to different events, and you've been, sort of stretching out career-wise and personally and all that kind of stuff. You just decided to choose to do that at the same time you were living your life on live video. So it's sort of, you've shared some of your story with people in bits and pieces as you've gone along. Is there more to your story that you haven't shared, but you'd be cool with talking about a little bit?
Well, if you would have asked me that question even a month ago, I would have said, no, not yet. It's not time. And the reason is there was so much shame around my story, And so, and I'm even getting emotional right now thinking about all the shame, not my story, but just the shame, because we become prisoners to our story. And the reason a month ago is significant, well, I'm even going to go back a little bit. In October, I attended and actually co-emceed Women Ignite International Conference right here in Boise, Idaho, and with Shelly Gartman. And she and I now are teaming up. We're going to start a new show in February called Ignite Your Life, that's 100% devoted and dedicated to personal and professional development. So I'm excited about that. But her conference it was the fourth year, 350 women and a few men. And the whole conference is devoted to people, real people, telling their stories that are extraordinary, that are phenomenal, and the things that people overcome. And I was sitting there thinking, why am I held so captive by my story? And then again, last month, I attended the Tony Robbins event, and people who were standing up taking the microphone, telling their story in front of thousands of people, it just blew me away. I went, my story is nothing. It's my shame that's keeping me locked in. And and what also happened in, I think, November was, and this is where it all starts. Okay. So there is no where it all starts. It's just all kind of meshed together. I'm just going to kind of spit it out, and I hope people can make sense of it. But I went to the doctor sometime a few months ago. And so a lot of people who watch my show, they know that I'm working with Glenn Dawson, and I've lost a significant amount of weight with him. And people are like, oh, great job. But it didn't start with Glenn Dawson. What happened was I went to the doctor a couple months ago, and I walked in, and the nurse is taking my weight. And the nurse was just like, it was a male nurse, and I said, yeah, I'm here because I've got some questions because I've lost some weight, and I just have some questions. He's like, okay. So he looks up on the thing, and he's like, oh my gosh, you have lost weight. You've lost 75 pounds. And I said,
wow.
Yeah, well, that's nothing. There was 30 before that when I came in and started seeing him. And he went, what? He's like, you've lost over 100 pounds. That's amazing. And I just was like, yeah, I guess it is kind of amazing. And it didn't really, it was just, I had just been working towards it, so it wasn't that big of a deal to me. And I don't know if that even makes sense, because we just live our lives and we just do what we do. And so then the doctor came in, and he was just, he shook my hand. He goes, Jennifer, congratulations. I have never seen anybody do this without surgery. I was like, come on. And because this is one of the top doctors in Boise, I was like, come on, that can't be true. He said, I promise you, I have never seen anybody do this without surgery. What are you doing? So I told him what I was doing. He was blown away. He said, keep going. This is amazing. You're doing it exactly right. I told him everything that Glenn is doing with me. And it sounds, I didn't want to tell that because the shame of my story started when I was really young. It started when I was 11, and my mother came to me and she said, Jennifer, your stepdad and I have been talking, which already is bad. Because that's the last thing you want to hear from your mom, is that they're talking about you behind your back. But she said, Jennifer, we've been talking. You're getting a little chubby, and we want you to go on a diet. Eat only what I tell you. And instantly started an eating disorder. So by the time I was 13, I was going for 3 days at a time not eating. And then when I was 14, I discovered that chocolate actually changed my chemistry. So now I had a drug to deal with all the stress. My story's not unusual. My story is played out every day in every country with young men, young boys and young girls. But I didn't know that because there was so much shame, because my mother and my stepdad were talking about me behind my back. So I went through a period, my whole adult life, yo-yo dieting, up and down, up and down, up and down. And there was a point where I had lost like 70 pounds. And when I got a picture of myself, it shocked me because I didn't know how to be that person. Like, I had transformed so much. I was like, I don't know how to be that person. I only know how to be the fat person. And so I immediately gained all the weight back, plus more. And so it wasn't until I actually was able to go inside and start with love from the inside and really love myself and nurture myself and nourish myself, that I could begin real transformation. And it started little by little, and live streaming actually is a big part of it, because I connected with people who shared their story. The stories are so powerful. And little by little, I was able to get over the shame of something that I didn't even create. And so the stories that we keep telling ourselves is what keep us imprisoned in our own hell. And so once I made the shift, I want to tell you something else, Ross. Once I made the shift, The shame kept me so imprisoned I wouldn't even go to the doctor because I was so embarrassed about my weight. I didn't want to step on the scale. And if I had just gone to the doctor earlier, I would have been diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder and a thyroid disease that could have helped me years earlier. But I was too embarrassed, right? So there's a lesson right there. But what's happening now is when I see pictures of myself now, I'm like, oh, there I am. I remember me, you know? And so it's very, very important for people to get in a safe place. I don't care if it's your best friend, your spouse, your counselor, if there's, you know, or with a friend, and just start sharing your story that you think is so horrible. You don't have to do it on live streaming like I'm doing right now. You don't have to do it, you know, all over the place. But I honestly, and it may not be about weight. That's the thing. Your thing might be, you know, someone else might be stuck because of abuse as a child. It wasn't you. But you don't know that because you were a child. You know, it could be that you think that you're not as smart as other people. I mean, everybody's got their story. But it's, and this was really driven home at Tony Robbins' Date with Destiny, is that we have to get out of our head and live in our heart. And we have to open up and live in love. And it has to start with us. The love has to start with us. And so, you probably didn't expect all of that.
Your story is really resonating with people. I can see in the comments. Hearing that echo again, I don't know if anybody's able to stop that or not. Okay, I think it's going away. But I was saying that your story really resonates. Other people really feel connected to it, even, you know, that they've gone through it and things like that, or something similar challenges. Just for a moment of levity, Enlightened Audio Visual says, Ross Brand, did you and Jennifer Quinn plan to match your shirts with your mic covers? Now, Jennifer does plan that, right? Is that right? Yeah.
Sometimes, most of the time. I mean, I do have like 5 colors of mic covers.
And I only have a black cover, and I have a lot of black T-shirts, so it just works. But no, I didn't plan it. So, I mean, that is so much work to have done, like, over the course of a year while you're becoming, you know, really a big player in the live streaming world. I mean, you've really been living your life publicly in a lot of ways. And do you think it's helped you in making these changes and, you know, really taking control sort of your destiny by being somewhat public about it? Or do you think it's added a layer of stress maybe, or even challenges?
No extra stress at all. And here's why. I didn't take a step forward until I was ready to do it. For example, Ross, I was not ready to tell this story until right now. If I had told this story 2 months ago, it would have freaked me out because I wasn't ready, because I still had so much shame around it. So that's really important that people get in touch with their intuition and with their inner voice and know what's right for them. I've become passionate about people consciously choosing their life. I'm so passionate about it. And we were talking, you know, earlier about I'm a human empowerment advocate. I don't really care. I have zero judgment on what people do with their life, absolutely zero. But what lights me up is when people are consciously choosing, not doing it because it's how they were taught, it's what their society says, it's what their, you know, neighbors expect, what, you know, consciously choose your life, because we only have one life. A couple of years ago, I lost someone really close to me. It was devastating. I went into the depths of grief, and on the way out, the only thing that I came out with was that there's one reason that people are put on our path, and that's for us to love them. That's my truth. But I want everybody to find out what their truth is. Everybody's got their truth. And so, no, live streaming has completely helped. And I actually did a PDF that it's a free download. You guys can go get it. If you go to secret.jennyq.live, and I actually outlined how live streaming and social media helped me make changes in it. And it felt like it was in an easy way. It felt really easy because I didn't have to change anything in my life until I was ready to change something in my life. Does that make sense?
So secret.jennyq.live. If somebody can throw
Right.
that into the chat, that would be awesome. Again, so much great feedback that you're getting. If anybody wants to, we get the comments really quickly in this platform. Again, it's the first time we're using Be Live TV to do the show. And I love that I can change shots too. So I can go into Facebook and do a few things and while you're talking and stuff. It's really.
Oh, so you're enjoying me just being a blab-o-matic.
Oh yeah, you just go and then I can do some work in another browser. Now, what I wanted to say is that because the comments come in very quick, feel free to enter questions if this is resonating with you or you want to get on your own personal development journey, your own human empowerment program, and you have a question for JennyQ that maybe she can connect with, or you don't mind, right? Giving a little advice, anything like that. Feel free to throw your questions in the comments, and we'd love to bring them into the show. Now, in going through your journey, did you set certain goals, or was it more about living a certain way each day and the results will take care of themselves?
So that's a different answer for each step of the journey.
Okay.
The first step, which was the biggest step, the longest span of time, it was about learning to love myself and accepting myself. Because I had already learned that if I lose the weight, this is nothing about the weight. You could plug in any issue that someone has, and I think it would stand true for this. If it's addiction, if it's watching too much TV, if it's, I don't even know what some of the issues are that people are struggling with, but whatever your struggle is, plug it in here, because it isn't about that. Whatever it is that you are doing that is distracting you from your life or your heart or your purpose, then that's just a symptom, because it comes from living in your heart and loving yourself and accepting yourself and knowing that you truly are enough, that you truly are perfect. The soul, the heart is perfect. Here's my whole philosophy on life, Ross, because I really was looking for what's the meaning of life. I would ask anyone who I could sit down and ask, so what's the meaning of life? And finally, one day I woke up and I said, you know what I think the meaning of life is? Our purpose is, we're born these perfect little human beings, these perfect little souls, to people who are really messed up, who were raised by people who are really messed up, who were raised by people who are really messed up, who were raised by people who are really messed up. And the whole purpose of life is to get as unmessed up as we can before we die. And for some reason that resonated with me. I'm like, oh, I can do this game. And so that kind of was like, okay, I'm going. And I know that there are a whole bunch of other beliefs out there, but that's the one that made sense to me, because I can take now responsibility for my life. I can consciously choose my life. I can get as unmessed up as possible before I die. That's my goal. That's my goal.
And maybe if you do it a little bit before, then you can give yourself a few years where you're actually...
you're perfect. Well, and Saz just asked the question, who stops the cycle? And that's the beauty of it. And we can all have a good laugh at it. It never stops. But my goal with my children is that I just don't make the same mistakes that my parents made. Right? They're going to have, there's no way, because I'm human, there's no way they're not also going to be messed up. So,
right.
But as long as I didn't make the same mistakes my parents made, then I'm going to count that as a win.
Right. Humans are always going to be imperfect, right? No matter how hard we work at it.
Exactly.
Alfredo asks, how do you find a balance between social media, online and offline connections? He says moderation, I hear, is part of the answer.
Alfredo, I love that question. I've been completely out of balance over the past, within the past year and a half. I have been hugely out of balance with social media, especially live streaming, especially when I was doing a daily show, the DailyQ Show. I was so out of balance. And when I kind of came back around to balance, I truly thanked all the people in my offline life for being so patient with me, because I kind of disappeared for about 7 months, because it was the new shiny object and I was obsessed with it and we were having so much fun, but definitely make sure that I mean, balance. Balance is the key in everything, right? Unless you have a goal, then it's really good to be obsessed about that.
Right, right. And I think it's important, like, I don't know where you kind of fall on things, but I think like when you're online and you're communicating with people, I think it's important to have honesty and credibility in what you say, but I don't think it's necessary to stream every aspect of your life or be 100% transparent. There's a difference between, you can be honest and not be completely transparent with everything.
Amen. Amen.
Like, people don't necessarily need, you can have personal relationships and family relationships and a career and things like that just you don't have to share with everybody, right? And it may not even, depending on the relationship, depending on the work you do, it wouldn't be appropriate for a doctor to be live streaming from inside the exam room, right? So there's plenty that, you know, I think the cult of transparency has gone to the ridiculous extent if people were really going to live transparent. And I think, you know, you've walked such a great balance in that, you know, here you're revealing stuff on my show, and I thank you for doing that because it's good for the ratings, right? But,
I'm sure that everybody wants to hear this.
Yeah, but I mean, here, like I'm saying, that you share a lot of your story and you're very honest and very open with people, and yet we continue to learn more about you, and you feel more comfortable sharing different things that you haven't before. So even somebody who's as much on stage or in the limelight as you are as a show host, you still keep parts of your life private. And I think that is, like Alfredo said, that's part of having great balance in life.
Well, and it's very deliberate and very conscious as well. And it's important, as on the flip side, to be very, very clear that everyone else is only showing you what they want you to see. And so because you see somebody on live streaming, you're seeing me right now, and everything I'm telling you is 100% honest, but there's a bunch of stuff you're not seeing. So even though it feels like you're getting to know me, you're getting to know a portion of me, and that portion is 100% authentic, and I'm being transparent. But you know, like let me just tie this together. When we started going to the summits and meeting people were surprised. It was like, wow, they're not at all what I thought they were. Well, why are they surprised? Because you only saw what they wanted you to see in a Periscope broadcast, right? Right. And then all of a sudden you're in person and you're like, oh, okay, this is very different. You know, so just a little caution there.
You mean you have a life beyond hosting the JennyQ show, and you have a personality and things that you like and do and say that go beyond what you talk about in that 45 minutes to an hour every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
So, for example, my show is very PG, right?
Right.
When I'm off camera, I'm not always PG. Just
really?
Yeah, I know. It's hard to imagine. I might say a swear word or 2 or 10. You never know.
Well, we're in the evening now on the East Coast, so feel free to let it roll.
No, I'm good.
So you mentioned the summits, and if you don't mind me for a second, yes. I'm actually going to be speaking at Summit Live February 22nd to 24th in Los Angeles. And we do have discounts available for tickets. We can get you 20% off if you'd like to attend Summit Live. I really want to meet as many people as possible in person. I hope you'll be there too, JennyQ. I'm
laughing so hard because I'm looking at the camera. I thought we were off camera, so I'm like getting fluffing my hair. And then
okay, you're off camera now. do what you need to do. I'll be on camera by myself for a minute. Do what you need to do.
We're good.
If you'd like to, let me just say real quick, if you'd like to attend Summit Live, you haven't gotten your ticket yet, you can get 20% off by going to livestreamuniverse.com/summit 2017, livestreamuniverse.com/summit 2017, and enter the promo code Ross Brand. livestreamuniverse.com/summit 2017. Promo code is Ross Brand. It's also pinned to the top of the comments. You just click that link and again enter my name in the promo code, and we hope to see you all at Summit Live. Wagner Dos Santos is here. Wagner's doing 3 shows today. So not done with the day yet. He'll be on Vicky Fitch's show. He Said, Red Said later tonight. Good to see you, Wagner. And so talking about connections and, online and stuff, how have you taken a lot of your like online connections offline to where you have relationships with people who've been guests on your show, or you've been guests on their show and now you maybe hang out or you talk or you collaborate? I know like you have the Enlightened Audiovisual thing obviously came together first through getting to know each other online. Talk about, how live streaming relationships become in real life relationships.
Right. Well, someone in the relationship has to make the first step, right, to take it offline. So it's either through, like, could be a Facebook Messenger, or, hey, you want to do like a Zoom or an appear.in coffee, virtual coffee, and just get to know each other a little bit better. I know that every time that I'm like doing a virtual coffee with somebody, we share things that we wouldn't share on live streaming, and you just get to know them a little bit better. It's more relaxed. And then if you're local, obviously you can get together and then going to events and stuff like that. But yeah, some of my really best friends, I met first online, not just live streaming, but Twitter or, Facebook or wherever, LinkedIn.
Right. And, talking about development and things like that, and you don't have to share this if you don't want to, you may not even have done it, but do you have certain goals set for this year? Like there's a certain theme to 2017? Or...
I don't have a theme, but I've definitely got goals. So I've got my fitness goals with Glenn. And by the way, I do recommend when you're ready, do not do this unless you're ready, unless it resonates with you and it feels right. When I started the JennyQ show on Facebook Live, I asked Glenn if he would please come on every single week to hold me accountable. And it worked because I knew that I wanted that goal, but I also knew it was going to be hard for me. But I also knew that the peer pressure of all my viewers was going to hold me accountable more so than a coach, right? So I actually had a conversation with him last week, I think. And I said, I have my next 6-month goals ready. And he said, Jen, you know what? That's a 3-month goal. He did the math for me. He's like, and I'm like, perfect. So I'll be at my end goal in 3 months. And I'm like, I can do anything for 90 days. Bring it. Let's go. So there's that. I'll be publishing my first book and it is a personal development book, by July of this year, maybe sooner, but the goal is July of this year. And Ross, I'm going to throw down the gauntlet. My goal is also to have the top live streaming show. So I'm throwing down the gauntlet. We're going to go ahead.
On now.
We're going to go head to head on this one.
Well, you're also going to have to come back. If you write a book, it's the rule that you have to come on my show to promote your book. So
that's a rule?
Talk
okay.
about it. Yeah.
I would love it.
I had to twist your arm there, but that'll help my ratings. So there's ratings on this stuff. But yeah, so to have the #1 live streaming show, that's yes. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And I have a book coming out. Like, you have a date for your book and everything? It's going to be in July, you said?
At least July. I'd like to do it sooner. It would be perfect if it was sooner, but I gave myself to July because life. Right. Yeah.
So are you planning to self-publish, or how are you?
I haven't made that decision yet, but what I can tell you about it is it's going to be about my journey, but more about how to actually, like, action steps on how to actually love yourself, how to actually choose your heart and choose your purpose. Awesome.
And so coming up with your show, you said you start back towards the end of January. What plans do you have for your show, maybe, that you can share?
So I'm starting January 25th at 9 p.m. Eastern on the JennyQ page. So if you just go to Facebook, go to the JennyQ Show, then you can like that page. You'll get notifications. So that's that. But then the first week of February, I'm starting Ignite Your Life a weekly show with Shelly Gartman. She's phenomenal. She is a personal and professional development, I want to say guru. She will kill me if she hears that. She's just amazing. Now we're gonna rock things on that show because it's different. Oh, it's different than anything I've ever seen. I'm certainly not going to say it's different than anything anyone's ever done, but the format of it's going to be very different. So that's all I can say. And I'll also send out notifications from the JennyQ page, the JennyQ Show page, or you can go to Women Ignite International, and that's the other place you can find it. So.
Gail Turner Brown asks, what does it take to be number one or have the number one show?
Gail, I know it's a horrible goal. It's really a horrible goal because there is no way to measure it. It is a dumb goal because it's not a smart goal, right? Because a smart goal is measurable. So this is a dumb goal, but it excites me. So I put it in there. There's no way to know how you're number one.
Taking the easy way out.
Well, how do you know if you're number one?
I have no idea. No clue. There's no way to measure it.
Maybe when Ross has me back on his show, he'll go, JennyQ, you did it. You have the number one show, just so that I can feel like I accomplished something.
Okay. We'll have a little celebration and everything and give you some sort of award for having the best show, the number one show. I mean, what is number one? Is it the best show? Is it the show with the most views? Is it the show with the biggest impact? And how do you measure really those things?
Freaking ambiguous.
Right. And it's good because if you keep it ambiguous, that way a lot of people can claim that they have the best show, right?
Exactly. It's like Saz just said, just tell yourself you're number one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
So Gail says, great. So what else, as far as like Enlightened AV and the work you're doing there, what type of programming are you guys working on? Anything you can talk about that's coming up, new talent, new shows?
Well, I mean, I can tell you what we're doing, but I can't really tell you the new shows yet until the hosts themselves actually start promoting it.
Right. So talk a little bit about your lineup and what you have coming up.
Okay, so this is like putting me on the spot a little bit. So we have we have Brand Matters, which is a super cool new show. It's actually by Vincenzo Landino and Rob Hicks, and they get on and talk about how brands are doing with their marketing and how they're incorporating live streaming. And so, oh goodness, I should know off the top of my head when that show is, and I don't, and I'm really sorry. But if you follow Enlightened Audio Visual on Facebook, then you can get notifications for all the shows. And then we have Aftermark with Vincenzo Landino and Amy Schmittauer. They do Afterthoughts. We have Vicky Fitch's show Wednesday night after the JennyQ show. And that's where she does her Vicky Fitch Live, New Perspective, where she does really in-depth interviews with really fascinating people. And I know this week she has Courtney Smith Kramer, who wrote 21 Reasons Creativity is Like Sex. And I'm reading that book, and it's a brilliant book. Like, wow. Everybody needs to read that book. Okay, and then there is also a show called Everyday IP by a law firm. That one is Thursday, and during the day, that's how close I can get in my brain. I'm trying to visualize the calendar. And anyway, but they go over IP, intellectual property issues that affect all of us in our everyday life. So how cool is that?
Wow. So a nice variety of shows during the week. Well, yeah. I want to thank you so much for coming back on. It's so great. You were my first guest when I started the show. You were killing it on Blab, and I was like, I got to start with the best. So I invited you on, and you took a chance, and here we are. We've been doing this stupid thing for over a year, this live streaming thing, and it's great, and it's a blast, and it's so much fun following how your show's developed and how you've changed your show, moving to a new platform, and now you're doing personal development, and I mean, it's just been an amazing over a year for you. I mean, I've had a great experience with this as well. So it really is a lot of fun, and it kind of impacts your life in ways that you didn't really expect. I mean, for me, I put up an image, right? At the end of the year, like the Facebook gives you all your, like, here's a picture of all your friends,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And I think I had, like, of the 300 something 50 friends or whatever, I was trying to find one in there that I didn't meet through live streaming. Wow. And when I look at all those people that, you know, I became friends with in 2016, I mean, there are so many people in there that I'm in contact with almost every day.
Right.
That, you know, I'm now closer with than people I knew in real life, so to speak, or in person. Right. So, I mean, it really has been an amazing journey over the last year and a half.
It really has. And Ross, you're one of the bright lights in the whole live streaming community. And what you do is nothing but service for the live streaming community with your updates. You promote, all you do is promote other people. And I can't thank you enough. Really, I'm thanking you from me, but also on behalf of the live streaming community, because what you're doing and what you've built has just been phenomenal to watch. And I am super grateful to be able to call you friend.
Well, I am too, with you. And thank you so much again for coming on. And catch the JennyQ Show Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern on Facebook Live at the JennyQ page, right? JennyQ. Just go at JennyQ and search.
Yeah, the JennyQ Show.
Oh, I lost you.
Oh, you lost me? Am I here? Am I gone?
Yeah, you're here. Facebook, for the Facebook page, facebook.com/
The JennyQ Show.
The JennyQ Show. All right. That's Jennifer Quinn. Thank you so much. We'll be back Thursday. We'll be back Thursday. Easy for me to remember. We're very good with schedules, I can see. We'll be back Thursday night. Wagner Dos Santos, live stream news. Get you caught up on everything going on in live video over the last month or so, and new developments in live streaming and tech and social video and all that good stuff. Also talk to Wagner about what he's doing with Marketing Insights, his Wagner Live Insights daily show that he's doing on Periscope, his interview shows, and also his midweek marketing roundup. So do please join us Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on Facebook Live. rossbrand.live will always take you to the show. And have a great night, everybody. Thanks so much.